Quick quiz. Are these the same thing? Artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. If you said yes, you are in good company. About 90% of the articles you read use them interchangeably, and about 90% of the articles you read are wrong. In the next few minutes, you will understand the real difference. And more importantly, you will understand why so many companies, so many headlines, and even some of your colleagues get this wrong on purpose. This matters more than you think. Terminology is power. When a company tells you their product uses deep learning, they want you to picture ChatGPT and self-driving cars. But their product might be doing something much, much simpler. If you know the vocabulary, you can see through the marketing, and it is not just companies. Entire conversations about AI policy, AI regulation, and AI in the workplace get derailed because the people in the room mean different things when they say the same words. Your boss says, "We need an AI strategy," and every person at that table pictures something different. The person in IT pictures machine learning models. The person in marketing pictures ChatGPT writing copy. The CEO pictures a sentient robot from a movie. These are not the same thing. And confusing them leads to bad decisions, wasted budgets, and misplaced fears. By the end of this episode, you will never confuse them again, and you will have a framework for spotting when someone else is confusing them. Think of it this way. All deep learning is machine learning, and all machine learning is AI, but not the other way around. Let me show you. Imagine 3 circles, one inside the other, like Russian nesting dolls. The outermost circle is artificial intelligence. This is the broadest category. AI is any software that performs tasks that normally require human intelligence. That includes everything from a chess program that follows hard-coded rules to ChatGPT. The thermostat in your house that adjusts temperature based on rules, some people would call that AI. It is a very wide umbrella. And this is important. At this outermost level, the system is following rules that a human wrote by hand. A developer literally sat down and coded instructions. If the temperature drops below 68 degrees, turn on the heat. That is a rule. The machine does not learn anything, it just follows instructions. The middle circle is machine learning. This is where it gets interesting. Machine learning is AI that learns from data instead of following rules that were programmed by hand. Instead of a developer writing, "If the email contains these words, it is spam," a machine learning system looks at thousands of emails labeled spam and not spam and figures out the patterns itself. This is a huge leap. The machine writes its own rules. Nobody told it which words indicate spam. It discovered them, and it keeps getting better as it sees more data. The innermost circle is deep learning. This is machine learning that uses neural networks with many layers. And I need to clear up a misconception right away. The word deep does not mean the machine has deep understanding. It literally refers to the number of layers in the neural network. More layers means it can handle more complex patterns. These systems can do things that seem almost magical, recognizing faces in photos, understanding speech, generating human-like text, driving cars, ChatGPT, DALL-E, all deep learning. Here is the key insight. Each layer is more capable than the last. Regular AI can follow rules. Machine learning can discover rules. Deep learning can discover rules so complex, no human could have written them. Let me dig into this because it is one of the most common misconceptions. When people hear deep learning, they naturally assume the word deep means deep understanding. It does not. Deep refers to the architecture of the neural network. A shallow network might have 1 or 2 layers. A deep network has many layers, sometimes dozens, sometimes hundreds. Each layer transforms the data a little more. It is powerful, but it is pattern matching at massive scale, not understanding. The system that recognizes your face does not know what a face is. It found patterns in pixel data. That is an important distinction. Here is another misconception that costs companies real money. The belief that deep learning is always the best approach. It is not. and assuming it is can actually make your results worse. Deep learning models are hungry. They need massive amounts of data. If you have 1 million labeled images, it will perform. But if you have 1,000 customer records, traditional machine learning might give you better results. There are algorithms like SVM that outperform deep learning on many business tasks. The best tool depends on the problem, not on which one sounds the most impressive in a pitch deck. Now here is the promise. Once you understand these 3 layers, you have an instant filter for evaluating every AI claim you encounter. Is this really deep learning or a thermostat with a marketing team? Understanding the terminology lets you evaluate products critically. It lets you ask the right questions in meetings, challenge vendor claims, and make better decisions about which tools to adopt and which to skip. Before we get to the risks, I want to bust one more myth. AI is only for Google and Microsoft. My company is too small for this. That was true maybe 5 years ago. It is not true today. Machine learning is increasingly accessible through open source tools and cloud services. You do not need a team of PhDs. Platforms like Google Cloud and AWS offer services a small business can use on a modest budget. Now the risk. And this one is all about marketing manipulation. Company A has a product using a simple rule-based algorithm. They market it as AI-powered security. Technically, they are not lying. Company B has a product using basic machine learning. They market it as powered by deep learning and advanced neural networks. Not technically true, but it sounds better in a pitch deck. This happens constantly. Ask the question, is this rule-based AI, machine learning, or deep learning? And what data was it trained on? If the salesperson cannot answer clearly, that tells you everything you need to know. Here's a misconception that burns companies all the time. The belief that machine learning models are set it and forget it solutions. Let me give you a specific example. A team trains a model in January. In January, it is 95% accurate. Fast forward to November. Nobody has touched the model in 10 months. Its accuracy has dropped to 60%. It is barely better than a coin flip. What happened? The world changed, consumer behavior shifted, the data the model was trained on became stale. This is called model drift. AI models are not appliances you plug in and forget. They are more like gardens. Now, I want to rapid fire through 5 more misconceptions. Myth number 1, AI will make human labor obsolete. This is the big scary headline, and it is wildly premature. AI enhances efficiency, it does not replace strategy. Myth number 2, AI is sentient or understands emotions. AI can detect emotional cues, but it does not feel anything. It recognizes patterns that correlate with sadness. That is a fundamentally different thing. Myth number 3, AI is unbiased. It learns from human data, and human data is full of historical biases. AI does not eliminate human bias. It can amplify it at scale behind a veneer of mathematical objectivity. Myth number 4, more data always means better AI. Wrong. More bad data means worse AI. Quality matters far more than quantity. A well-curated dataset of 10,000 can outperform a messy dataset of 10 million. Myth number 5, you need to understand math to use AI effectively. You do not. You need to understand the concepts, what it can and cannot do. This brings us to the autonomy myth. Treating AI as an autonomous employee. The correct mental model is co-pilot, not employee. A co-pilot assists and augments but does not fly the plane alone. Every output needs a human in the loop. Every important result needs verification. The nested circles are simple but powerful. Once you see them, you cannot unsee them. They give you an instant filter. Is this really deep learning, or is it a thermostat with a marketing team? The promise is immediate. You become a better decision maker. But the risks are equally real. Companies overpromise, and myths lead to real harm. This episode sits right in the middle of our meter. All right, let me give you a practical framework, the BS Detector Framework. Step 1, draw the circles. Seriously, get a piece of paper and label them AI, machine learning, and deep learning. Pin it near your desk. Step 2, ask the 3 questions. What type of AI is this? What data was it trained on, and who is maintaining it? If they cannot answer all 3 clearly, you have just identified a gap. Step 3. Test for the set it and forget it trap. What is the plan for monitoring and retraining? Step 4. Check for co-pilot versus employee thinking. Are they starting with AI or just copying and pasting without checking? Next week, the AI you already use every day. I am going to walk you through a single day in your life and show you every moment where AI is working behind the scenes. Some of them will surprise you. If this episode helped clear up the confusion, hit subscribe. And tell me in the comments, before today, did you know the difference between machine learning and deep learning? I read every single comment. See you next week.